How much do you know? Well, you'd probably say, how much do I know about what? Well, for example, how much do you know about the birds that fly around your house flat, come into your garden? We've had quite a few different ones recently because it's spring and we've got a couple of bushes where there's these berries on that certain birds really seem to love. And we've had to discuss it amongst ourselves, Jane and I. Oh, do you think it's, no, I'm not sure, it might be. And we've invariably had to go and look it up and go, oh, right, I think it might be, but at times we're still not convinced. Well, when it comes to God and his knowledge of birds, it's unbelievable. Not just the one or two birds that come into our garden. Listen to this, verse 11. I know every bird in the mountains. Every bird. Well, of course he does. He created them. But he goes on and he says, and the insects of the field. Our God is an awesome God, and we must never forget that. He knows everything about everything. Listen to verse 3. Our God comes and will not be silent. We're to remind ourselves of that, and we're to be humbled. We're to reflect on who he is, and yes, we love him for his greatness and his majesty, but we're also to be reverent. We're to be humbled. We sing a chorus at times, our God is an awesome God, and yet it goes on and it says our God is also a consuming fire. He's one that we must love and respect and understand him for who he is. And yet he's the God who comes to the aid of those who put their trust in him, those that turn to him. Listen to verse 15. Call on me in the day of trouble, and I will hear you. How wonderful, how reassuring, how precious. And yet look at the flip side of that, because we're reminding ourselves of how awesome a God he is. Verse 22, but the wicked, you who forget God, what does the psalmist say about them? It's quite terrifying. I will tear to pieces. We need to remind ourselves that as our God is an awesome God, he's one that we need to fear and never forget and never push out of our lives, and one to reverentially worship every day of our lives, giving him all the glory that's due to his great name.